Tony D and Little Joan over there. No, wait, over there. And Guest Dog is somewhere behind me. And this is a screenwriter's rant for Dead Man's Hand, an action western starring Stephen Dorff, uh, Wings Hauser's son, Cole Hauser, and Val Kilmer's son. Um, I forget his first name. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 11 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Now, this is based on a graphic novel, and it's kind of hard to parse here. I don't remember this graphic novel. Dead Man's Hand's a pretty generic name. There's Wings Hauser's boy. So why not call this movie Sons of the West? That's what I would call it. But it seems fine. Stephen Dorff, I can't tell if he's the villain or the hero in this. I think he's the villain because they keep showing a Confederate flag behind him in a lot of the shots. Somebody kills lawmen, but I think it's the other guy. I don't know. Maybe they're corrupt. But Stephen Dorff is after this guy because he killed his brother. But according to Val Kilmer's son, Jack Kilmer, that's his name. According to Jack Kilmer, he looks a little bit like Steven Seagal, doesn't he? According to Jack Kilmer, the guy tried to kill and rape his wife. Not necessarily in that order. July 7th from Lionsgate. Okay, so I love Westerns, as you all know. It looks action-packed, which is good. See, here's the Confederate flag. He gives him a chance. They're going to play a hand of cards, and if he wins, he walks out alive. If he loses, they kill him. And I guess he loses because then he whips out guns and starts shooting the place up, or maybe he does it anyway. I can't really tell the cards they're using. It was kind of hard to see in the trailer. See, there it is. That's a pretty cool shot, though. It's a pretty cool scene. So overall, it looks okay. Here, I'll just play a little bit of it. There he is. Now, he takes a big swig of whiskey. I'm not sure what hand Stephen Dorff had, but he looks like he almost has a flush there. It's kind of hard to tell. Should have had clearer cards, I think. Less authentic, more clear. Overall, I like these movies. I would totally watch this movie. But man, the soundtrack, yeah, see the Confederate flag? The soundtrack in this movie is brutal. It's kind of rappy, hip-hoppy, seems inappropriate. Just doesn't go with the setting. It's way too modern. It should be like South Park or something. Something like, it feels like they actually spent money on the soundtrack, which is weird. Why would you spend money on a Western soundtrack unless you were doing, I don't know, some kind of country music thing? So it's really tough to figure out who the good guy or the bad guy is, which is good job on you, trailer cutter, because it has the elements I like, and yet I'm not totally confused about what's going on, but I literally don't know who the good guy or the bad guy is, really. It could kind of go either way. Could go either way, doggy. I mean, you might say, oh, yeah, there's a Confederate flag. He's obviously evil. Well, have you seen Pale Rider? And Clint Eastwood movies? Anyhow, I think Jack Kilmer's the good guy. I would hedge my bet. So, first act, if what Kilmer's character says is true, they attack his wife on a stagecoach, and Kilmer manages to turn the tables and kill the bad guys. He drags the body. This is why he doesn't seem like a good guy. He drags the body into the nearest town. Like, he's on the stagecoach, and they just tie the body to the stagecoach and drag it all the way to town. That's pretty awesome. It feels very much like a comic book, that scene, but I kind of like it. But it doesn't make him a good guy, right? You'd think a good guy wouldn't like go the extra mile to mutilate the corpse of his enemy. So that's why I'm not so sure. So he gets into town. In the meanwhile, Stephen Dorff is some kind of, I don't know, he's a gunfighter or a lawman or what. And his brother was the guy who attacked the stagecoach, or maybe didn't. Maybe it was the other way. I don't know. Stephen Dorff has done some stuff, and Cole Hauser is after him, and he shows up with a warrant. But at the same time, Stephen Dorff has learned of his brother's demise, and now he wants revenge. So he's not going to go along quietly. Hauser agrees to give him 24 hours or 1 day to settle things, because maybe that'll, maybe Dorff will get himself killed and he'll just show up and pick up the body or something. So I guess that's most of the second act. Dorff going after this kid. He catches up to him. He tries to kill him. It doesn't work. There's a big shootout. Eventually he captures him, and there's a scene in the beginning of the trailer where they're going to put him in the stockade, but then they're also going to cut off his trigger finger. And I don't know what this scene is. There's so many different disparate scenes here. And then finally, towards the end, there's a shootout. July 7th, by the way. There's a shootout between Kilmer and Dorff. And Hauser's like, get him, kid. So maybe that's the end of the movie. And there's a shootout. And I'm going to assume Stephen Dorff finally loses and dies. Kind of hard to tell, though. Maybe they kill each other. I don't know. There's a lot of killing in this movie. It just doesn't... Nobody's good. Which is, I think, a positive for the story, because it kind of leaves me intrigued and wondering, but not confused to what's going to happen. I mean, it's a Western. I think I know what's going to happen in a Western. But, again, the music really, really threw me off. It's not good music for a Western. It should be more country, slower, more sinister, not like... It sounds like Eminem. It sounds like Eminem singing, which isn't even good rap at this point, if you can call it rap or hip hop, whatever he does. I used to like Eminem, but not now. Now it's like, yeah. So would I see this movie? I'd see this movie. Yeah, it's a little generic in terms of Western. I mean, calling it Dead Man's Hand, it has nothing to do with Wild Bill Hickok, but yeah, I'd see it. Let's read the synopsis. It follows Reno, good Western name, a newly married gunfighter seeking a quiet life with his bride. When Reno kills a bandit in self-defense, so he is the good guy, he finds them both pulled back into his old ways. Clarence Bishop, the corrupt mayor of their locale, will not let his brother's death go unpunished. Okay. So he's the mayor. That's interesting. That's a little different. Now, my understanding of history during the post-Civil War era, Confederates couldn't run for office, but maybe this is far enough out west that nobody cared either way, or he wasn't officially an officer or something like that. I don't know. Maybe this is later. Maybe it was the late 1800s and he was just a soldier. But it's a solid premise. It's just that music, man. Lose that music. Lose it hard. Other than that, looks perfectly fine. I would totally watch this. Bit low budget, but I'm okay with that. Looks actiony. They've shot so many of these movies. Never seem to have a problem, right? It's like, you got to think, why did they have a problem on that one Alec Baldwin movie? Maybe is it the numbers that just catches up with them, or is it something else? I think it's something else. Anyhow, I won't go into that. But it's called Dead Man's Hand, July, 7th? July 7th? Yeah. It's a good American Western. So check it out. And that's it for me, Tony D. and Little Joan and Guest Dog somewhere in the background. Happy 4th of July. We will have our live stream on Sunday. That is the 2nd. I know you'll be barbecuing, but we're going to have a live stream anyway. We're going to be talking about Indiana Jones. So hope to see you there, and we'll see you in the next one.